All right, guys, end of the year, end of the season, I should say. And boy, what a season we had. We had a tremendous season. My consistency went way up. The birds have been doing super. I think we had one bad race right after that first one. I was about 12 minutes late. Honestly, I don't know what I did wrong, if I missed something or if I did anything wrong at all. The birds were about 12 minutes late, and I came in dead last in terms of loft. But anything after that, if I wasn't first, I was usually second or third loft, right up there within a couple minutes of the first place bird. We ended up winning 4 out of the 10 or 11 races that I won, or that I raced. I mean to say, including a second place win on our classic race, the big race of the year. I lost that race by 22 seconds, and man, what a heartbreaker! It was weird. I don't know how to explain it. It was super cool to have come so close to winning, especially in the last few years where I've not gotten close at all. To come in 22 seconds to the win, but at the same time, what a heartbreaker to have missed it by 22 seconds. If I had missed it by a couple minutes, I say, hey, I was by a couple minutes, my birds just weren't fast enough, or whatever the case was. But 22 seconds, man, what a heartbreaker. Nonetheless, we had a super good year. We won a 300, we won a 180, we won the 100, and then we came in second on the 400, which was super. The birds did phenomenally. You can see if you follow along on a few races, again, we were second place or second loft or third loft or whatever, but we were always on top. Always the consistency was there for the birds, which was amazing. What a good start, what a good end to the year. The big plans coming up. I do want to redo the breeding section like we talked about. The raised floors, guys, let me recap on that because I'm getting quite a few questions on that. The raised floors were tremendous. I mean, what an addition to the loft. I couldn't recommend it more. As an improvement to the loft, I could not recommend it more. What a great, and I'll show you guys as an example. Because I cleaned everything out, including the breeding section, when I put the raised floors in. And I have no birds here. So I haven't cleaned out at all, at all. And you can see there is quite a little bit of buildup right underneath the perches, because this is only on 3.5 inches of height. So it's only on 2x4s. Here, there's almost no buildup at all, other than the little corners there and there, because I put these slants to create a little bit of motivation. But you guys can clearly see there is plenty of space down there. Obviously, I'm going to clean it out. I don't like to do any sort of cleaning or any sort of modifications when the racing starts, so I kind of leave it alone. But you can see still plenty of walking space. Everything is dry. Nothing is messy. I mean, it's just beautiful. Let me go ahead and turn the lights on, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So at the same time as I installed these floors, I redid my cock section. And you could just see the mess. I mean, just walking in for a second, all the feathers, everything. I don't know if the camera catches all the little feather particles and dust and everything else. It's super dry, and it's okay that it's dry. The problem is you can't even stand in here without coughing within a couple seconds. Just so much debris in the air from the birds flapping around. It's unreal. But you guys can see, I went ahead and took off the nest fronts. I left that one up because they had youngsters. I was raising a pair of droppers for a buddy of mine. All this is coming out. I am doing raised floors in here because you guys can see just the biggest difference. You don't even want to walk in there. I'm sure it's better for the birds, or whatever guys may think, but in my case, I don't like it anymore. This is just so much nicer. My feet are always clean. It feels nicer. Just the whole ambiance of the loft feels better. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all these boxes. I'm gonna redo everything. Instead of 16 boxes in here, there's gonna be 12 boxes, and they're gonna be probably about right there. So we're looking at about 34 inches wide. I'm gonna go 20 deep and 16 high, hoping to eliminate the fighting, hoping to reduce the amount of birds in here. Yeah, I know I can keep 12 birds in here instead of 16 and still keep the 16 boxes. I don't know if you guys can catch all the little crap flying everywhere. I'm standing in the hallway just to not get in the middle of it. But my biggest issue is the bowls. I can't keep 2 bowls in there comfortably, and what ends up happening is they'll either nest on the floor, which happens every single year, or they start fighting for nests, and hens getting scalped because they're being driven and they have no place to go to lay. So I'm hoping to build larger boxes where I can keep 2 nest bowls and maybe a half divider in between, just to give them a little bit of privacy from the babies that may be in the nest at the time. And we'll see. If it doesn't work, man, you know, no regrets. I still want to redo this. I still want to do the floors, like I said. And I'm going to do the floors, raised floors in the hen section as well. So once I go ahead and eliminate what we have left, which are these birds here, we have about 30 or so birds left at the end of the season. We had 2 400s where I sent everything. I sent only specific birds on the first 400, which was 369 for me or something like that. And then on the second 400, I sent everything else, and this is what we have left. So let's see. I bred over 100 youngsters. I had a few youngsters put in my loft from various people. So we had a good 135 birds. We have roughly about 32, 33 birds right now. And out of all of these, you can only imagine there's 4, 5 super really super pigeons in here. The rest are decent homing pigeons, but we have about 5 supers in there, so that's about what I expect every year. But I got a guy coming picking them up. He does what he does with them. We're not going to go into detail with that. You know, people can do. They have not been vaccinated. I don't vaccinate my birds, so if he chooses to eat them, that's on him. But nonetheless, we won't go into too much detail. I could not recommend the floors more, honest guys. I'm even thinking of raising the floor in the hallway. Like I said, I have plenty of height to the ceiling here. I don't have any issues. Let's see, above my head there's a good 6 inches or so. So I mean, you have to be a good 6.5 feet tall to not be able to clear the ceiling here. So I think I'm gonna go higher in this section and maybe even go a little bit higher in the 2 racing sections. So the next plan, not to get off topic, is to move all the cocks in here. The first section, when I get rid of the remaining birds from the race team, all the hens in this section here, add the door, and then we are going to go ahead and start on rebuilding the breeding section, and I am going to put raised floors in the hen scoop as well. I can take you guys over there just to show you what we're dealing with. Kind of the same thing. You don't want to even walk in there because it's so much mess and so much feathers, man. Once they start molting, it's just unbelievable the amount of down feather everywhere. So let's see, look at this. I mean, and again, I cleaned this out at the same exact time, and it's dry, it's okay, but it's just so freaking messy, and I'm so tired of it. But that's the game plan, guys. I'll take you guys along with me, probably not throughout the build, but just show you guys exactly how it all came out and my whole plan. Whew, gotta stand way back. It's just so much crap flying out of there. But that's what we got, guys. Super good year. Again, the consistency of the birds went way up, which I'm happy about. Shows that the methods are working. I do still have to tweak a few things, and you know what? There's not much more I can do. I just have to remind you guys that I am working full-time. I have a family, a growing family, so I don't have all the time in the world to train these birds and motivate them and condition them like these guys, like the retired guys do. So to come so close on every single race and to even win a few is more than I can ask for, honestly. As you can imagine, when I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to take the birds down the road, if I don't see the stars, I really have to make that decision, because if I make it down the road and it's cloudy, I have to turn back. I just simply don't have the time to sit there and go have breakfast and decide to let the birds up an hour later, 2 hours later, like some of these guys do. I have to make that decision then and there. Either I leave them home or I take them, and a lot of times I can't take them, so they're undertrained, or whatever. I'm not making excuses, but for as well as I have been able to do, I couldn't ask for more, honestly. And it's good that there's variety of guys winning. There's not just one guy taking it all, because that's no fun either. Nobody wants to sit there and race their birds week after week, and to see just the one guy take every single race. So it's nice. It's nice to be part of that. It's nice to be considered a good flyer, a good racer. It's nice to get that respect. So you guys know what I mean. I won't ramble on too much longer. But that's pretty much it, guys. We'll see how it goes with the next updates. I'll take you guys along with me, and hopefully it all works out. Either way, you guys will know. All right, guys.